do you want to tell me?
Paranoias of plants and smoke on.
Is that it?
Yes.
All right.
Have a blessed day.
Some of them look like they just as soon like to hang you from a lane. They talk about what it does. Isn't that good? Ain't that the way? Isn't that good? You want to see this land will be on the land. It will be your land. And it will be my land. California. Your island. Of course. You're going to see water. This land will be on the land.
Happy Legal Cannabis Day! So I'm Ben. I'm from The Stranger. I'm throwing this party for all my friends. And one of the goals, I have a couple goals, more than just winning an argument. I wanted to ask the question of where can we consume cannabis? You know, as a cannabis culture, we don't have taverns, you know, we don't have anything like that. We don't have coffee shops like they have in Amsterdam, right? And so we just legalized marijuana last year. And in about 6 months, we're gonna have shops, pot shops, where you can buy marijuana. As an adult, just showing your ID, you can buy marijuana legally. And I went to Amsterdam. The first time I actually went to Rotterdam was the first time I went to a coffee shop. And I know all about these things. I've been a drug policy activist since 1995. I know all about these things. But when I stepped into a coffee shop in Rotterdam, I saw exactly what I expected, which was a menu on the wall and a little window with a dude behind it, looking at me like happy. And I was like, I was almost speechless. I was like, so wait. And I asked him, I'm like, so wait. I just tell you what I want, and you give it to me, and I give you money, like, and we're good? Like, and he's like, yeah, it's totally. And I was so shocked by that. And that's pretty much what's gonna happen here. For all those folks who've never been to a dispensary, you're gonna have the experience where you walk into a pot shop, and you ask a man or a woman for cannabis, and they give it to you, and you give them money, and then you go home, and you smoke it, and it's all good. Like, for me, that is the way it should be, right? Yes, thank you.
Please post this.
I will.
I really mean it.
I will. No, I will.
He really means it.
Washington! Washington!
74 point something, it's almost 75% of Seattleites, your fellow citizens, your neighbors, 75%, 3 of 4, voted yes on 502. Yeah, thank you, Seattle. You know what that means? That means if you are on your street, or if you're on your bus, or you're in your job, and you look at the people around you, 3 out of 4 will be on the side of cannabis. Will be on the side of rational drug policy. And that's a very empowering feeling. And so I know that. I know that deep down. And I know that the people of Seattle believe that this should be able to happen. And so that's another point that I wanted to make, is that we have as much right as anybody to have a fun time, to have a good party, right?
That's what I got. But I don't know, man.
Is that I believe that cannabis consumers are inherently good people, that we are not criminals any longer, and we have never been criminals in reality, and we are inherently good people. And we deserve the same rights afforded to all people. We deserve the right to use, for instance, our public parks. We deserve the right to commune and share sacrament. We deserve the right to smoke pot together.
There are deeds to do to clear the way, for morning comes at the break of day, and all hollow threats, they are made of clay, and simply crack and fall away, and the time is now. Now is the time. The time is now. Now is the time. So let us now begin the deeds, to cast the die and to sow the seeds, to realize our destinies and take our place in history. The time is now. Now is the time. The time is now. Now is the time.
Primary author of Initiative 502 that legalized marijuana here in the state of Washington. And one of the most exciting things that's happened in the years since I502 passed is that other nations are now looking at the fact that 2 states, Washington and Colorado, have opted out of the U.S. federal drug prohibition on marijuana and decided that, well, if the United States has its own states opting out of this prohibition policy, then why can't we also do the same? And so Uruguay and South America was likely to be the first nation in the world to legalize marijuana next Tuesday, December 10th, when their Senate votes on a bill. And we're talking to people in Amsterdam and Mexico and Chile and Poland even, and we're seeing leaders, former presidents and current presidents, say it's time to reject U.S. prohibitionist policies about marijuana.
And here we are, smoking marijuana with a permit at Seattle Center. I mean, wow, Jack Herrer, I wish you were here today, man. I mean, like, there's so many people that work so hard and sacrifice so hard that, man, if there's a heaven,